Tiwahe means the family, but it means more than the family. Tiwahe means those that you care about. And it doesn't necessarily have to apply only or exclusively to humans. If you care about this water, care about these trees, plant life, animal life, that's a Tiwahe. In the native way, Tiwahe really describes our relationship with everything that is. And that means that our relationship with the earth and the sky is part of our Tiwahe. We walked in nature. We said a prayer and asked for inspiration. We asked the Creator that we find something in nature that would inspire us to name ourselves that. And in doing that, we came across the cottonwood tree. And that's how we came upon this particular plant, our leaf. And this is the cottonwood leaf. And that's where we stopped, at the base of a huge cottonwood tree, an old growth. When we picked up the branches that were dried from years previous, and we broke them at their elbows, they have little joints in them. We broke those branches and looked in the interior, and there's a perfect star in there. And the story goes that children gave this particular design to us, and we call it today the teepee. The teepee was inspired by the cottonwood leaf. And so if you take a look at the logo of Tiwahe today, you're going to see a teepee. And that is inspired by the cottonwood leaf. And you'll see the doorway into the teepee, and it's a shape of a cottonwood leaf. In the interior of that teepee, through the doorway, you'll see a star like a fire. And that's the star that's an interior piece of these dried branches.
The mission of Tiwahe is to be a resource for giving and strengthening the American Indian community by building capacity through leadership, culture, values, and vision. And when you break down that mission statement, being the resource for giving is critical to the long-term investment in our endowment and success of the foundation. And what we hope to do in the next 5 years is to really invest the American Indian community in giving back to Tiwahe Foundation.
Tiwahe was created to help increase the economic contributions of our Native community. It was also to help aspiring people within our community who were pursuing education. It was also to support those in our community who want to contribute their culture, not only to our own Native community, but to the broader community as well.
Philanthropy is part of our traditional values. It's about the system of reciprocity and how we give back.
I mean, from a Native perspective, it's something that we've always practiced all our lives. And so I think that to enter into like a more formalized role in philanthropy is where a lot of communities, not only the Native community, but the African American community, the Hmong community, a lot of communities are now looking at how do we support our own philanthropic efforts instead of always depending on, let's say, the state government, the federal government, other foundations. How do we build our own foundation to support our own initiatives and programs? And so there's an identity-based, that's what they call it, philanthropy that's happening across the country.
I believe in supporting young people. I believe in supporting leadership, and I believe that it has to be invested in. I was fortunate in my life because people have invested their time and their money and supported me throughout my life. And as soon as I was able to give back, I wanted to give back, and I wanted to give back particularly to this, the Tiwahe Foundation, because of the work that they do supporting Native leadership. The next generation exists within them, and I know they'll pass it on, so I wanted to be part of that giving circle.
The first grant was to go back to college and obtain my bachelor's degree, which I did, and got a technical communications degree in 2006. And then the second one was to do a women's or an intergenerational craft circle in a drum, which I did that here. It was called Seek to Know Honor Society. And then the third one was for Gathering of Sacred Voices.
I feel like I can accomplish things, like if I want to achieve something, I feel like it's easier, and I feel like I can help other people.
I think giving is important because it replicates the act of giving that occurred at the time of creation. In doing that, what we're doing in this day and age is just reflecting the generosity that was bestowed upon us, whether we're human beings, animals, plant life, stars, earth, whatever. There was an act of giving that occurred at the very beginning of time. And in doing that today, we're replicating everything that was and continues to be.
I envision that at one point, all the wisdom that's in the world and in the room will be honored. Our systems, our native systems of traditional reciprocity will be as honored and celebrated and be acknowledged for the wisdom that is part of that system, on the same degree that mainstream philanthropists are acknowledged. In the same way that the Gates Foundation or Ford Foundation or Kellogg Foundation get acknowledged for the work that they do, we'll see that acknowledgement happen about the communities that are supporting and taking care of themselves and their surrounding communities.
And I hope that in the next few years we're able to raise our endowment, and then it will be this permanent resource. We won't have to look to a funder or someone else to make the investment in our grants. We'll have done it ourselves. And so I feel, for me, it's that legacy of leaving something in a good place and that will be around forever.